Roger Goodell just got the worst phone call of his life. The Department of Justice opened a federal investigation into the NFL. Not a warning, not a fine. An actual antitrust probe. And the craziest part is, it was not angry fans who triggered this. It was one of the NFL's own billion-dollar TV partners who quietly went to Washington and started a war. Here is what really happened. Right now, as the NFL prepares to negotiate its next round of television contracts worth billions of dollars, a brand new player just walked into the room, the United States Department of Justice. On April 9, 2026, the DOJ confirmed it had opened a probe into whether the NFL is harming consumers through the way it sells its broadcast rights. The Wall Street Journal broke the story first. The government confirmed it shortly after, and within hours, senators from both sides of the aisle were publicly cheering. But here is what nobody is talking about. The NFL's own general counsel, Ted Elliott, had already briefed team owners about the possibility of a DOJ investigation just days earlier at league meetings in Phoenix. According to a source with direct knowledge of that meeting, Elliott gave the update and didn't seem that concerned. The league knew this was coming. They just did not think it would move this fast. So why is the DOJ coming after the NFL right now? The answer starts in 1961. In 1961, Congress passed the Sports Broadcasting Act. That law gave professional sports leagues a specific antitrust exemption. It let the NFL sell all of its TV rights as one package instead of having 32 teams negotiate their own separate deals. Congress approved this for one reason: to keep games free and available to regular people on broadcast television. And for decades, that is exactly what happened. You turned on the TV, the game was on, no subscription required. Fast forward to today. The NFL now has active contracts with ESPN and ABC, NBC Sports, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, Amazon Prime Video, and Netflix. The total value of those deals is more than $10 billion per year, running through 2033. ESPN's deal goes 1 year longer, through 2034. Here is where fans get hurt. Monday Night Football games on ESPN that are not simulcast on ABC require a paid ESPN subscription. Thursday Night Football and the Black Friday game are on Amazon Prime Video, which also requires a subscription. Christmas games are on Netflix. Select playoff games have aired on Peacock. Some international games run on NFL Network, which is buried in paid cable packages. The NFL says 87% of its games air free on broadcast TV. And technically, that is true. But if your team is playing on one of those subscription nights, you are paying to watch your team. That is the crack in the foundation the DOJ just drove a truck through. Remember, this is not just about streaming costs. There is a secret war happening behind closed doors between the NFL and its own TV partners. And that war is the real reason the DOJ got involved. Here is the story inside the story. The feeling inside the NFL league office, according to multiple people familiar with the situation, is that the Murdoch family is the primary force behind this investigation. The Murdoch family owns Fox Corporation. Fox currently pays more than $2 billion per year for its Sunday afternoon NFL package. But the NFL has quietly told its partners it plans to trigger opt-out clauses in its current deals after the 2029 season. That means the league wants to renegotiate everything and get even more money. Fox has a problem with that, and Fox is the only major NFL broadcast partner that does not have its own subscription streaming service. Every other partner, ESPN, NBC, Amazon, Netflix, already has a direct-to-consumer platform they can push exclusive games onto. Fox does not. So when the NFL starts moving more games behind paywalls, Fox loses. They cannot play the same game as everyone else. Fox Corporation filed an official comment with the Federal Communications Commission, arguing that putting sports behind paywalls threatens broadcast television and local communities. Fox News ran segments about the rising cost of sports viewership, and the Wall Street Journal, also owned by the Murdoch family, published an editorial directly calling out NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, accusing him of trying to squeeze more money out of big tech streaming companies at the expense of networks and fans. Fox CEO Lachlan Murdoch gave a public hint in February. He said Fox would be able to offset any cost increases from renegotiation and would consider rebalancing their portfolio. That is corporate language for, we might walk away from the NFL if the price goes too high. Patrick Crakes, a former Fox Sports executive who now works as a media consultant, put it plainly. He said the big winner in the media distribution shift has been live sports, and this DOJ investigation is pushback by networks against the NFL's rising rights fees. So you have Fox quietly pushing the DOJ and Congress to investigate the NFL. You have senators calling for the league's antitrust exemption to be repealed, and you have the NFL sitting on $10 billion a year in TV money it does not want to lose. This is a fight over who controls the future of football on television, and the fans are caught in the middle. This story has moved faster than almost anyone expected because it has bipartisan support in Washington, which almost nothing does anymore. Senator Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah who chairs the Senate Judiciary Committee's subcommittee on antitrust, posted publicly that he personally urged the DOJ to examine the Sports Broadcasting Act and its application to the current media landscape. He argued that licensing games to subscription streaming platforms may no longer fit the legal definition of what the 1961 law was designed to protect. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat from Massachusetts, sent a letter to the FCC asking it to investigate what she called streamflation. She specifically pointed to ESPN's new arrangements with the NFL and Major League Baseball as a threat to fans. Congressman Patrick Ryan, a Democrat from New York, went further. He called for the Sports Broadcasting Act to be repealed entirely. He said, and this is a direct quote from his statement to ESPN, "Billionaires in boardrooms are making decisions to maximize their profits without thinking for a second about the fans." When a Republican senator, a Democratic senator, and a Democratic congressman are all pointing at the same target, the NFL has a serious political problem, not just a legal one. And there is one more layer here. The Trump administration has previously gone after the NFL twice, once in 2017 over player protests during the national anthem, and again during the 2025 season when the president criticized the league's choice of halftime performer at the Super Bowl. The difference now is that the DOJ is acting with bipartisan cover. That makes it much harder for the NFL to paint this as a political attack. Here is the honest answer about what changes for you as a fan. Probably not much in the short term. For anything to actually change, one of two things needs to happen. Congress votes to repeal the NFL's antitrust exemption, or a lawsuit gets filed and wins in federal court. There is already a separate lawsuit over how the league sells its Sunday ticket package that is currently under appeal in federal court. That case alone shows how slow this process moves. Frank Hawkins, the former head of media for the NFL who now works for a law firm, told ESPN the NFL can sell its games to whoever it wants. It just has to be ready to defend those decisions in an antitrust case. And he believes the NFL has a solid argument given how many games it puts on free broadcast TV. But here is the cliffhanger. The NFL's current deals with CBS, Fox, ESPN, Amazon, and Netflix run through 2029 with opt-out clauses. The league is already in early renegotiation talks with CBS after Skydance acquired Paramount. Other partners are preparing for similar conversations, and every single one of those partners is now watching the DOJ investigation as they decide how much they are willing to pay. If Fox walks, if CBS cannot close a deal, if the DOJ forces structural changes before 2029, the entire $10 billion annual machine the NFL built starts to shake. 83 of the 100 most-watched television events in America last year were NFL games. The league has never been more popular, but popularity and legal protection are two completely different things. That is why the DOJ declaring war on the NFL matters. Not because fans are going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly watch every game for free, but because the law that let the NFL build its empire was written for a world that no longer exists. The government just said that out loud. And once the government says something like that out loud, the NFL cannot pretend it did not hear it. The most powerful sports league in America just got the one thing it has never had to deal with before, a real fight it might not be able to win.